What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be going over how to install a tap valve on a refrigerator if you want to add gas or check the gas pressure. I did a video a while back that got a lot of views, and I said in that video next time I got one in my shop that I could gas, I would do a little bit better video, better presentation, you know, since I got a new camera and everything. That last one was done on my phone. So anyway, hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit clearer in this video, but I'll go over the same things. I'm going to be using this style tap valve, and this is what the package looks like, what's inside the box. It's got some instructions here, and I'm going to zoom in on these and go down real slow so you can maybe stop the video and read for yourself. So like I said, if you need to take a good look at that and read through it, you can stop the video and just look over it. But every one I've ever got comes with these instructions, so you'll be able to look at yours and hopefully see. But so when we open the package, this is what's inside. Just like the picture shows, we got a cap, we got a little plunger, the top half, 2 screws, 2 different size inserts for different size lines, copper lines. 1 O-ring. I believe they just send an extra one because that's made for where that goes, but it already has one in it, so I guess they just send an extra one. But anyway, that, and then the bottom half of the valve itself. So we're gonna get to installing this, and I'm gonna show you, what kind of refrigerator I'm working on, and the first sign that I knew it needed gas. Okay, so this is the kind of refrigerator I'm working on. It's a Whirlpool. This is what I call a top mount. It's got the freezer on top and the refrigerator on the bottom. And just to give you an idea of what model, that's the model number there, ER8MHMXML02, made in 2004. And first sign, when the guy brought it in, he had it already taken apart on the inside of the freezer. But the first sign is I can put my hand on the back of these coils, and with the compressor running and everything, these coils are cool to the touch. Usually if one's working right and it's got enough gas, these are pretty warm. Second thing I noticed, I look inside the freezer. Like I said, he already had this thing took apart, looking at the coil in the back. But if you'll notice up here, this is real thick with frost, and the rest of it is just about has no frost on it at all up until this point. And then the whole rest of the coil is just, no frost at all. So what that means usually is that the gas pressure, it don't have enough gas in it, and the gas isn't flowing through like it's supposed to, something like that. But anyway, so we're gonna get into putting this tap valve on, and I got my gauges and everything, and I'll show you how to do all that. Got my gauges hanging up here, so we're gonna put those on, and I'll show you after we install the tap valve what kind of pressure this refrigerator is running, so you'll know. That way you'll know that it does need gas. So that's the little data plate on the compressor. Okay, so looking at the compressor now, what I like to do usually is install the tap valve on what they call the stem here. This one here, I don't know why they put one that short on it. You can't do anything with that, so why would they put one that short on it? Most of the time they're kind of long and they loop around and you have plenty of room to put the valve in, but this one's too short for me to do it there. So alternatively to that, and it takes a little longer to gas it because the gas has to adjust and run through the system, but you can also put these valves on the low side of this system. Now the one here is the high side, which is the higher pressure, and you know that's the one that's the high side because that line runs up to the back, and these are the coils that get hot. So if the coils is hot, that's the high side. Now this one here in the back that loops down, it runs up to the inside of the refrigerator. So that's where we're going to be putting our tap valve. And this is the line that's supposed to get cold. So I'm just going to find me a good clean place here. If it don't have a clean place on it, it'd probably be a good idea to get you maybe some alcohol or something and kind of rub that line down to get you a good clean spot, because you don't want to be putting that valve right on top of any corrosive or corrosion or anything like that. So I think I'm gonna put it right here just so it'll be easy to get to and everything. So we're gonna start by going over here. I like to grab the bottom half of that tap valve first, and you can try either one of the two inserts that come with it. I think we're going to be needing the bottom one, but anyway, I just go ahead and grab one that I think is closest, seated in the bottom of that. It's got a little thing there that's supposed to fit down in that hole like that, and I'll just stick that on the line like that. So then I take my top half that you actually screw the gauges onto, and I sandwich the two together and hold that one with my thumb. Then you grab one of the screws, put in the top hole, and it comes with the Allen wrench. Stick it in and tighten that one down. Don't tighten it all the way, just kind of get it started, kind of snug it down where it'll more or less hold itself in place while you finish putting it together. Okay. Then I grab my second screw, stick it in the bottom, grab the Allen wrench, tighten that one down. Just kind of do them a little bit at a time. That way you can kind of tell, that you're getting them tightened down evenly. So I'm just alternating between the top and the bottom one. Okay, and you'll feel it start to grab hold of it. But I always, after I get them tied, I always try to bottom those screws out. I mean, there's no need to really over tighten them, but you do want to go ahead and just bottom them out. Well, you can make sure you get a good seal on that O-ring, because to be quite honest, these aren't the best valves in the world, but they do the job. So I'm just going to So now that everything's tight, you're going to take the little plunger, this guy here, and you're going to stick it right on that top piece there, and it should kind of hold itself in place. And then you're just going to take the cap and screw right down over the top of everything. And what that plunger is going to do is it's going to push down on a pin in the center of that valve and actually stick a needle through the side of that copper. So we're going to tighten that down. No need to over tighten this either. Just kind of get it where it stops, and then you can back off of it. Alright, then you'll pull this little plunger off the top, and you're ready to stick your gauges on. So let me grab mine. Alright, so I'm going to move back a bit now where you can see my gauges and everything I'm working with. Alright, so I'm just going to take my low side for now, which is the one on the blue side. And you can see get everything zeroed out there. Everything's zeroed out. So we're going to go ahead and take our hose and put it on our valve. You'll probably hear a little bit of the gas move through it. Okay, so now that's on, we'll take a look at our gauges again, and you can see that it's running -9. Now that'll probably creep down just a little bit, but anyway, this being in the negative, that means it needs gas. Now I'm no expert, you know, on the refrigerant or anything, that's for sure. But I do know that these refrigerators are supposed to run somewhere around +3 and +5. So normally I just take my gas can and I'll shoot a little bit in there at a time. You know, probably take me about 20 minutes to do it. And I'll shoot a little bit in, wait, and shoot a little bit in and wait. And try to get that pressure up to where it's about +3 or +4. And then you'll start being able to feel these coils on the back of this refrigerator warming up. And you'll be able to see that coil on the inside of frosting up, and you'll be back in business. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to mainly cover this valve again in better detail, where I could you know, go through the processes by voice instead of by annotation, and that way it maybe help you understand it. So hopefully you got a better view of it, and this helped you out some. But anyway, alright, I hope that helped y'all out. Thank you for watching. So I thought I was going to end the video there, but I figured, you know, I got to do this anyway, so why not go ahead and let you guys see it. But anyway, I'm just going to go through the processes here. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking, because it's kind of self-explanatory. But I'm going to go through the processes here and keep showing you the pressure on the gauges. Go ahead and put the gas in it. That way you can see, and I'll show you the inside of the refrigerator afterwards, and you'll be able to tell the difference in the frost pattern and everything. So I may do some skipping around, but I'll make sure to include every step. But so I'll just take my center hose on the gauges. I got my 134 gas bottle here, so I'm just going to hook it onto that. You can do this thing, a lot of times auto parts stores sell those little kits that you can put gas in the car. I know that the hoses for this don't hook to the hoses for that, but you can kind of shoot it in the same way. A lot of those kits come with little pressure gun gauges things. They'll work just fine with this. Just They run a lot lower pressure than what a car does, so don't shoot 25 psi in that refrigerator. Don't do anything like that. That's way too much. So we're just gonna cut our gas bottle on. We'll bleed this line, and then make sure everything's tight. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding the gas. Like I said, don't rush this thing. If you put too much in it at one time, it can lock the compressor up. I have ran into that before. So just shoot a little bit in. Don't need to be in a hurry or anything. Do a little bit at a time, and you'll see that pressure start creeping up. So don't take long doing this, and you'll start hearing some, if the house is quiet and there's not a whole lot going on, you'll start hearing some activity in the refrigerator. Sounds like a creaking or a moaning, but I'll take you up there and let you hear that. You'll be able to hear the Freon moving through. Not sure if you can hear that or not. Anyway, you'll start seeing the Freon lines get colder a little bit farther down. It's going to take a few minutes. You got to get that pressure on up for it to do even, and then it's got to run for a little while. See, we're on -3 now. Like I said, putting that gas right into that low side line rather than on that stem, it actually has to cycle through the compressor and the whole system before it actually starts cooling down with that gas. That's why you see this pressure fluctuating up and down so much. So when it starts getting close, like right now, I'm shooting for +3 to +5, somewhere in between. So when it starts getting, around -3, I'm gonna start slowing down and doing a little bit less at the time. And then you'll just let that gas circulate for a few seconds. See how it's going up or down. And then it'll get all the way down, and then it'll kind of level off, and then it'll come back up a little bit. So it's easy to overgas it. See, now that gas is circulating through it and it's starting to come back up again. So that's pretty much it. That's going to be the whole process up until we get this number here up to about 3, somewhere between +3 and +5. After it settles there for a few minutes, it'll probably stabilize somewhere around about 1.5 to 2. But we'll take a look back at the refrigerator or the freezer again, see if we got any more frost than what we had to start with. Oh yeah. So you can see coming down now, we got, and this has just been running for a few minutes. I've been trying to see it's all the way down to the end and actually wrapping around the first, looks like the first 2. That one's got some on it too. Back to this side, you can see down on that second one. And the longer it runs, like I said, this will frost up more and more until the whole thing gets pretty even all the way across. So just kind of watch it. But one more thing I want to add, before you take your gauges off the back, go ahead and put this back panel on, because the air moving across that coal will actually affect the pressure. So go ahead and put that on, let it run for a few minutes with that back panel on, and then look at your gauges again, and that'll give you a better reading, because that pressure will change. It'll go up or down, I'm not sure, but it will change when you put that panel on, because it's pulling that warm air, from out here straight across that coal, so it will change the pressure. But that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. You see my setup here, nothing too too fancy. You can replace that with the little gun that you get. You know, you can just hook to the little 16-ounce can from the auto parts store and just squirt in a little bit with the gun until you get it right. You know, just kind of keep putting your hand up here. The top will get warm first on this one. You can tell that line, it goes up the side and then the top first. So the top will be what gets hot first. But you kind of want this like the inside. You just want it to be like an even warmth all the way down. And after you do that, you should be good to go. But anyway, nothing too fancy here. It's really easy to do. My main purpose in the video is just to kind of go back over this again with some voice instruction, give people a little bit better idea of what's going on, because they really liked my first video, and I hadn't really seen nobody else on YouTube with this style valve. But it's the easiest one. I get this one from a local air conditioning supply house, so they're usually pretty easy to find. But this is about the easiest one I've ever used. There's some with 3 screws that you actually have to take the Allen wrench and tighten down the middle to pierce the line and everything. But this is the easiest one I've ever used. I use it myself. I keep these on my truck. So it does 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8 outside diameter. So anyway, that's all I wanted to cover in this video. I hope that helped you out. Maybe you got a little something extra from actually seeing me gas it. You can see now it's on -0.6, so we'll keep coming up a little bit more with it, and this thing will be right, and we'll be ready to put it back in the house. So anyway, thank you guys for watching.